Unit 3, Boolean expressions and if statements. Topic 3.7, comparing objects. In this lesson, we will compare object references using Boolean expressions in program code. Here we have a class called house. For its attributes, it has color, square feet, and number of bedrooms. We also have one constructor with parameters, which is used to initialize variables. Let's consider these object declarations and constructions. How many object references did we declare? How many objects have we created? House, my house, house Anna's house, house Bob's house Mom's house are all object declarations. How many objects did we actually create? In the case of my house and Anna's house, we constructed two objects. They both have the same values, but are two different houses. It's as if you went to a neighborhood and saw two greenhouses with the same square footage and number of bedrooms. They have similar characteristics, but are two separate houses. In the case of Bob's house, it's just a variable that hasn't been constructed yet. In the case of Mom's house, a new house wasn't created, but rather my house can also be called Mom's house. My house is an object reference that contains the address of this house object. Anna's house contains the address of this house object that was created with similar attributes, but it's a separate house object. Bob's house is null right now. Mom's house contains the reference of the same address as my house. My house and Mom's house reference the same house object. My house and Anna's house refer to two separate objects with identical attributes. My house and Mom's house are aliases for the same house object. Bob's house does not reference an object. Two object references are considered aliases when they both reference or point to the same object. Object reference values can be compared using the equal equal operator and the not equal operator to identify aliases. We can check reference equality using the relational operators equal equal or not equal. This will check to see if these two variables point to the same reference. In this example, it will evaluate to true as my house and Mom's house reference the same object. In this example, it will evaluate to false as these two reference different objects. This expression will evaluate to true as my house is not equal to Anna's house. A reference value can be compared with null using the equal equal or not equal operator to determine if the reference actually references an object. As we did before, we can use the equal equal or not equal operators to determine if a reference actually points to an object. In this example, Bob's house does not reference an object and is therefore null. Often, classes have their own equals method, which can be used to determine whether two objects of the class are equivalent. This is considered logical equality when we check to see if the values or data of the objects are equal. We modeled this in Lesson 3.1. Even though these string variables store equal values, they are actually referencing different locations in memory. For this reason, when comparing the values stored in these string variables, we should use the dot equals method.